I'm excited to bring up our last storyteller. Majida is here telling us a story that spans decades, continents, but the one thing that moves through the whole story the whole time is her passion for food and the people she hopes to connect with through food. Take it away.
Thank you, Melissa. This is God's world. One is born in one country, lives in another, and maybe dies in a different country. But it's important to know the people wherever we live and bring something good to them, said my mother, whom I called Ami. Ami was born in India. Her parents moved to Pakistan. Later, she came to America. She is buried in California, and I wish you were alive today to see this. As I sat down to write for this project, I realized for the first time how accompanying Ami on her spice trips on her trips to the Spice Bazaar of Abbottabad, Pakistan, helped me carry out Ami's dream of knowing people and making a difference, but in my own way and in different countries. Ami was particular about spices. Ground spices were available, but she bought whole spices and washed and dried them in the sun. Then she would take them to the Spice Bazaar and interview numerous shopkeepers before they could grind them. One such occasion left a deep impression on me. Ami went from shop to shop asking men, "Do you have a Chucky to grind turmeric roots only?" Chucky is a pair of round grindstones. The bottom one is shaped like a donut. The top is a solid disc with a dowel-like handle jutting upwards. Upon hearing no, Ami would walk away saying, "Turmeric ground on Chucky, which is used for other spices, will adulterate its color and the resultant curry will not look nice like mine." Ami put same effort and love when she was cooking for her family or neighbors. Whoever ate her food came back to have more. But as a 4-year-old, I didn't like her curries. I also disdained crowded, narrow streets of the bazaar. What I didn't know was that Ami's love of food and her connecting with the shopkeepers by speaking their language would shape me. Ami learned my father's language and spoke better than him. A decade after my trips to the Spice Bazaar, I was married off. My husband took jobs in Uganda, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, and Botswana, and I accompanied him. I learned Farsi, Arabic, and Setswana as a way to connect with people and know the culture. One day I found myself in the Bazaar Wakil of Shiraz, Iran. A labyrinth of narrow streets veering off from the main entrance were like the tentacles of an octopus. Each street specialized in selling something, but my heart was in the Spice Bazaar. I couldn't peel myself away from velvety, smooth, cone-shaped peaks of yellow turmeric, black cumin, red chilies, brown cinnamon powder that jutted out of jute sacks, which were rolled down to form borders around them. I wanted to taste those spices. I fell in love with food. My Iranian landlady taught me Iranian cooking, including rice and tahdig. In the 80s, we moved to Bahrain and I participated in 2 cooking programs, one competitions. Yeah. One was organized by the Hilton Hotel and the newspaper Gulf Daily News. I thought my French fish starter, Pakistani chicken, Iranian rice, Italian dessert didn't stand a chance against beautiful dishes of other participants. The next day, Gulf Daily News carried a story with my photo. I was declared the best amateur chef of Bahrain. I was elated. Only now I think My Ami must have felt same joy when people praised her food. My prize was dinner for two. Oil producing Bahrain was also the banking hub of the Middle East. Their prices were generous. I ate fresh caviar flown directly from the Caspian Sea. Our dinner was about $300. The cake decorating competition was held by the poolside of Ramada Inn. It was open to professionals and amateurs alike. I bagged a set of diamonds and Bahraini pearls, necklace and earrings. I couldn't believe it. I was ecstatic. I was so filled with joy. Bahraini pearls are more expensive than diamonds because the art of harvesting pearls from the Arabian Gulf is extinct. As I was wrapping up my things, a chef approached me and said, I really liked your cooking, especially the cake, but it lacks professional touch. I told him how I had been looking for someone to teach me to bake professionally. I can train you, but I will have to ask my head chef, said Chef Frank. He gave me his work number and asked me to call him in 2 days. My prayers had been answered. A week later, I started several months long training in the 5-star pastry section and the main kitchen of the Diplomat Hotel. Afterwards, I produced and presented Let's Bake and Decorate and Adventures in Cooking, each consisting of 13 episodes. They were aired on English language channel 55. At the time, Bahrain had only an English channel and an Arabic one. I was the first one to have produced and presented those programs in Bahrain in the 1980s, much like Julia Childs of the 50s. Then I wrote food columns, travel, business, cultural articles in newspapers and magazines around the Gulf, and later in Botswana. In 1999, I came to Ithaca, upstate New York, to work on my cookbook. My children were studying there. My book was not published, but I gathered a team of volunteers and produced and presented an episode titled Middle Eastern Delights. It was aired on Time Warner Cable TV of Ithaca. I wanted to bridge the gap between American audience and Middle Eastern people. After my divorce in 2001, I came to Ann Arbor, Michigan, and freelanced for the heritage newspapers. Then my jobs took me to Afghanistan, Uganda, Zimbabwe, Zambia, and the United Arab Emirates. I came back in 2015 and wrote a syndicated political article for the Washington Post. In 2020, I completed writing my memoir. I also started a monthly food column in the Detroit Legal News. Readers tell me that my columns take them on a journey into other countries and cultures. I think my writing creates curiosity about other people and different lifestyles and melts down fear of the unknown. My heart opens up when I write about food. Food, unlike politics, brings not only families, but also the world together in its purest form. World has changed since Ami taught me lessons, but I continue her lesson of spreading love through food. Thank you for watching.